Good morning. Alice Brown and Lady V here. Welcome to our Whacky Winded Wednesday. As a lot of you know, we've been trying our best to knock our Mondays and Friday videos down a little bit in time. But on Wednesdays, where we're talking about everything that's actually going on behind the scenes, what's going on with the writing, shows, everything else, yeah, we're going to get a little windy. So sorry about that ahead of time. As some of you might know that contacted us personally, or if you watched Saturday's video, we ran into quite a bit of technical difficulties over the past week and a half. So I'm going to go back to where it all started, which was the Clinton Street Fair, our own little local street fair, October 9th, so a week and a half ago. When we got up and got ready for that show, it was not raining, but by the time we got there, it was pouring. And we got the tent out and set it up and started getting product out, and all of a sudden realized that rain was pouring in the tent to the point that we might as well just been standing out there with no protection whatsoever. So Mr. Brown was with us. He tried coming up, improvising a plan where we used a tarp. The tarp wasn't big enough, so that didn't work out. Meanwhile, rain is just pouring. We were soaked. We were absolutely soaked. And you know, we consider ourselves veterans to these craft fairs because we were doing the jewelry prior to getting back into the writing. So I came prepared. I had hot drinks, I had an extra set of shoes, I had socks for both me and Lady V because she always forgets socks.
I always do. I remembered the shoes, I forgot the socks.
You know, I had a dry shirt or a sweatshirt that I could put over, but that did little good when by the time we packed that tent back up to head home, water had seeped up to my knees, from my knees down, and my pants were just soaked. So 3 drenched rats piled into the car, and we said forget it. We ditched that show completely. This hair does not look
cute when it gets wet.
Well, never mind that. The main reason why I finally just said that's it, I'm pulling the plug, is because I don't have the money to invest in the books again if everything gets ruined. That's, you know, there's a couple $1,000s there.
A lot of people don't think about stuff like that when it comes to independent people who take the time to go to these shows to advertise their business, the stuff that they're actually putting at stake. And then most of these shows go on rain or shine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same way with a lot of the arts and crafts people. Their stuff, you know, arts and crafts is not meant to stand out in weather unless it's specifically made for outside. Weather. But quite often it's not. There's a slew of arts and crafts things that we see all the time at shows. And, you know, if something happens during that show, or it's a 2-day show, if something happens to the tent the night in between, they're out everything. There is small business insurance you can get. A lot of crafters don't have it because they can't afford it. And I certainly understand that. So it is a situation. So we pulled the plug on that Saturday show, came home drenched, brought everything in the house. I turned on the dehumidifier, trying to help get everything dried out, and we went to bed for a while. So we decided that week, it was, I believe it was Tuesday, we sat down, we got the great idea, since we had a couple back-to-back shows, to get
it ended up being Monday.
Ahead. Was it Monday?
It was Monday.
Okay.
To get ahead a day early without having the show to do.
On the taping, so that we didn't have to stress about it and when it goes up and everything. Only to sit down and spend hours taping 5 videos, you know, trying to get ahead here a little bit, only to discover that Lady V's phone that we were taping from had malfunctioned. We had no idea, and all 5 videos had to be scrapped completely. We tried salvaging Wednesdays because by the time we realized the situation, we did not have time to go back and retape and edit and everything else. We tried salvaging Wednesday's video. It got put up. I wish it did not.
It will be getting taken down as soon as we get
yeah.
done filming today.
Because it literally got chopped in half. The half of it just disappeared. It's not there
Which is
at all.
It's so ironic because when I edited it, it went through completely fine. You know, I watched it from beginning to end because there were certain areas I had to cut out and all that stuff. But then something happened with the upload.
So, Lady V's fiance came to our rescue.
He did.
Thank goodness. Brandon, thank you so very much. He went and got her phone fixed for her and went ahead and bought what kind of camera is this?
This is a Canon EOS M50.
Okay. So he bought her something that we knew we needed anyway in this business.
We just kind of hadn't saved up for it yet.
Hadn't saved up for it yet, you know. So, but the one that he got her, it comes with a microphone. You can put a picture somewhere in here, through here, can't you?
I'm going to put a picture up on the video showing you the box that it came in because it was actually a kit. The microphone, when you priced everything individually, the microphone actually ended up coming free. So did the SD card.
Wow! Because
it was $6.99 for the camera by itself, but then I repriced the kit and the microphone. The microphone itself was $9.99 or $99.99, and then the kit was $6.99.
Wow!
The exact same price as the camera would have been by itself. So we actually got a really good deal. I did go ahead and buy an extra SD card. The one that came with the kit was only 32 gig, and 32 gig is great for if you're just starting out or if you're taking multiple pictures instead of videos, but videos do take up more gigabyte space than pictures, so I went ahead and bought a 128 gig SD card. The next thing on my list to buy is an extra battery pack because I know these batteries don't stay very long.
Okay.
But that actually, I was pricing those last night. They're actually relatively inexpensive when you start buying the individual pieces.
Okay, good. Okay, so we, as of, let's see, you guys went out shopping Thursday, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Or no, was it Wednesday? Thursday we were taping. It was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday you got home super late from getting everything fixed, and so Thursday we sat down to tape because we were scheduled to leave out Friday morning, which we did, to head to our next show. So we had to get Fridays and Mondays taped, edited, put out, the whole 9 yards, and Lady V wanted to try out her new camera, of course, so we taped on it, only to discover we have no idea what happened, but Fridays, we could not copy it over to edit or do anything else. Mondays went through fine. Mondays was fantastic. Other than we realized we've got some work to do in the lighting department and a couple, small things, but that's just learning the camera.
Yeah. We're working on it.
So Fridays ended up being a complete bust. So that's the reason why nothing went up Friday at all. We had to leave out here about 10 o'clock Friday morning to head to a show. Unfortunately, Lady V here popped her back out tremendously. We think she's got a slip disc about a half hour before we left Friday morning.
Yeah,
so
my hips are here and my torso's here right now.
So we that made for a fun trip. Thankfully, we had some help because Brandon was with us, and again, Brandon, for the help that you did in helping us set up and take down, and thank you so much. It's much appreciated.
Yes,
and he did the
up
driving
and taking
for
down
me too.
Was greatly appreciated because usually I'm the muscle of when we go out to shows because of Alice having the fibromyalgia. I try to take most of the work off of her, and this time I felt absolutely useless because I really couldn't.
Yeah. So I was glad that we had a little bit of help. That helped. That takes us to the show.
The show in Charlotte.
The show in it's actually in Ocean Isle.
Yeah,
we stayed
right
in
next
Charlotte.
door to each other.
They actually did pretty much a last minute emergency because all the initial paperwork said it was Charlotte, and that was because the park where they usually have it in Ocean Isle was under construction. There was a small portion that's still under construction, but they were able to do the show around it. They didn't know if they were going to be done in time to do that, so when they did, it was a last minute shift over to the original site. So I got that all that from vendors once I got there and went, what in the world's going on, people? But the show was Saturday and Sunday, huge show. not necessarily a huge show for us or any other vendors, because a lot of people went to that show for the music and the food.
Yeah, they had bring music all day.
Yeah, they bring in local bands, just pretty much one right after another. And, throughout the state of North Carolina. And so it was constant music, and I literally was watching busloads of people get off buses and just head straight over to that, venue. And then, the food was there and whatever, and then get right back on the bus. So even though there was probably I'm estimating here about 6,000 people, we had less than 100 show up to the booth. So, yeah, that kind of shows you that's just somebody that just stepped up to even take any kind of interest in that we even existed. Yeah. So that kind of shows you how many people
were there
just for the music. But it was a fun weekend. We managed to
made some really great interactions.
Yes, we did. And we covered expenses, and that was important to me. We had a really slow day Saturday, and I was starting to hit the panic button Saturday night, but Sunday picked up, and it ended up being a decent show, and in the fact that at least we could cover expenses, and I'm not in the hole, so that's always a good thing. So, but we made some really good interactions, made some really nice new friends. So
met another fibro warrior, which was really exciting.
Yes, because she's running her own business also. She was a photographer, and she was telling me about doing a wedding the day before and some of the difficulties, and because you have to bend and get in certain positions and everything like that. And, when you're hurting that, it takes a toll on you. But, we had a nice little chit-chat and going over a lot of things that we both go through running our own business with a disability like that. So that was really fun. We met a lot of cool people that are interested in our books. We're hoping we've gained a lot of new fans. And if any of you are watching, hi. Nice to see you again. We loved meeting each and every one of you. So that... Well, let's see. We ran into another issue in that we had to replace the tent from the Clinton disaster the week before. So Mr. Brown and I went to the store, bought a new tent. As in everything else, they've won up. I know 3 years ago, I bought the exact same tent. And if I'm not mistaken, it was $139. Now they're $200. And what really bothered me is when we took that tent out, I took one look at it and I knew it was not made nowhere near as good as my old one was.
Yeah.
And that proved right, because we really had to anchor that thing down. As soon as we got set up and we started talking with other vendors, there is something that keeps flying in my face.
I can't see anything.
There's something. Anyway, I went around and, I was talking to several of the other vendors, and come to find out that 2 years ago at that exact show, because they didn't have the show last year, 2 years ago, they had to cancel the Sunday portion of that show completely because a tropical storm had come through that night, Saturday night, and literally half the vendors lost everything. They lost their tent, they lost their product, they lost it all. And it was such a disaster that they ended up just there was stuff just thrown everywhere. And so they ended up canceling the show and, let everybody pick up pieces and go home.
That would have been hard to do without bawling my eyes out.
Yes, me too. I can't imagine. But they were forecasting. We had a cold front moving in Saturday night, this last Saturday night while we were there. We had wind gusts that they were forecasting 30 to 35 miles an hour, and that was enough to scare everybody there, all the vendors, and we were all trying to anchor down afterwards. And knowing that the tent was not as sturdy as the old one really bothered me and worried me something fierce. We took every book we had and I boxed them back up and took them with me in the car. I was not taking any chances. The mugs, I made sure I was trying to protect. We had 2 huge tarps that we threw over everything once we boxed everything back up and
got it off the ground,
trying to protect it as much as possible. And then we dropped the entire tent down just as low as we could and then anchored it as best we could from there. And that took a lot of work, and thank you, because I know that was not easy on your back whatsoever. But
crawling around inside the tent hunched over, but we did it.
But it's one of those things that had to be done. Sunday morning, thankfully, we got there and the tent was dry. It had rained that night, but the tent held up. wind had gotten up underneath enough that it had knocked one of the tarps completely off the table. So I know we had some wind gust.
But that was about the most damage that we
yeah,
had.
that was, everything was fine on the table, but I had taken the tablecloths and wrapped them and put them on top of the table, and then put the tarp on top of that, and only the tarp had come off. So I still had the tablecloths protected and everything, so it was fine. So that puts us to the end of the weekend at Ocean Owl. Got home Sunday night.
Died.
Yeah, late, and we were exhausted. So yesterday, well, Monday, because today is Tuesday, we're taping early so that we can make sure we can get it out there Wednesday for you. So Monday was a total down day for us completely. And then here we are. It's now Tuesday. You'll be seeing this video Wednesday for our Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Winded Wednesday.
But we're recuperating. We have this coming weekend off, and we are so thankful for that. Lady V is going to need that time to recuperate and get her back straightened out. Our next show will be the last weekend in October, Halloween weekend, and that's back down pretty much where we were. We have a reservation in the exact same hotel where we stayed. You go, we were staying in Shiloh, and Ocean Owl is one way, and Holden Beach is like the other. So there's like an 8-mile
difference.
Well, it's 8 miles one way to Holden Beach, and about 5 to 8 miles to Ocean Owl. So it's about the same.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my fiance last night in regards to the back pain, that I have not felt this much pain since when I threw my ankle out years ago, and I had to go through surgery for that. That this I do believe this tops it. This is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while to get that
first
back
time
up.
doing this, so I'm new to experiencing this.
So we need to go over the highlights of writing on where we stand. And
yes, which with everything going on, we're not really that far ahead.
No, we're not.
When we went to put out last Wednesday video, we were sitting at 90%, which I think the video cut off before you saw that.
It did, so nobody ever saw it.
Once again, we are still at 90%.
We're still at 90%. Yeah, I have not touched a thing since. I believe it was last Wednesday or Thursday last time I had any chance to write anything at all. I haven't even opened the computer since then. So
we're running a little bit behind, but
Well, we've got next weekend off, so I'm hoping to have some time.
I'm hoping to get really caught up on that as well.
So that's where we stand on everything. We hope you are having a great day. Join us Friday as we get back to our Dollar Tree hauls.
Very excited.
Yes.
Got some good stuff coming up.
Yes, we do. Remember to like this video, hit that thumbs up, smash it, hit it, whatever you want to do. It's okay with us. We won't tell.
Also, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so you will be notified every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when we upload a new video.
Yes, definitely.
And check out all the links listed down below, where we have Alice's Craft Corner, which has just been introduced this week to our website, and that's where the wreaths are currently up for sale. We'll be adding some other stuff as Alice explores her creativity, but right now it's just the wreaths. We do have some new mugs. Also, our latest book that came out in September. So check out all of that.
Fire Nice. Some Dragonos too.
So check out all of that, and we will see you Friday.
Have a great day.